So I will start recording this piece. This is the class that I do tend to record. And oh, okay. So that student figured out what's going on. So
Okay.
this is the class that I'm going to be recording every single day. I don't tend to record until we start the actual class. But you guys will see those recordings every day here in the stream. So you guys will see, technically I'll even like start doing that right here. I'm going to click in here, put in today's information, and then I will attach the YouTube link to the video that you guys are seeing right now. So if you guys are ever absent, your Wi-Fi is having issues, send me a message so that you guys can still get credit for attendance. But when it comes to participation, you guys will always have to do an exit ticket. So I'm going to cancel this. This exit ticket is always released 10 minutes before class is over. You guys always don't have to wait until the last second to turn it in. As soon as you get that notification saying, hey, this was posted to your class, please go over there, click on it, and it's super easy. It'll take you guys a second. You're going to say, yes, I was here, and then put today's date. If you accidentally put the wrong date, it's not that big of a deal. You'll just hit it, and that's it. Now, if you are absent, or Wi-Fi issues, you're technically not allowed to do this piece because you did not participate in the class. However, if you do watch the video and send me a message saying, yes, I did watch the video, you guys can do this exit ticket. All right. So you can change it. Just send me a message at the bottom of your private messages, letting me know, like, I watched this video, and that's fine. Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. Actually, let me pull that up real quick. One student needs their password.
Oh, okay.
So give me 1 second. That'll take super quick. Stop. Fast forwarding through things. Rios, right? There you go. All right. And I would suggest copy and paste it, then log in, and I would save that somewhere so that you have that for future references, by the way. No problem. So again, this is the exit ticket. That's how we would handle it. Notice here, you guys have the entire week's worth of material. At the end of today, you'll see week 2. You are not responsible for week 2 until we get to those spots. However, like some of your classmates already went in here, and like 2 of them have already done their notebook. I already checked it to make sure that it is good. And some of them have already done the homework as well. So what happens when you do that? You get some extra points. You get 5 extra points for doing it correctly, but it has to be fully correctly with like maybe 1 or 2 mistakes. That's my incentive to have you guys do assignments early, or at the very least, like tonight. If you guys do the work tonight and turn it in, for the people that turn in their assignments today, you guys will get extra credit as well. So if you do the work today, you guys will get extra credit. If you take after that, you'll still get full credit. All of these assignments for the week are always due by Monday at 4. What happens after that? You guys still get full credit. It's just a guideline so that you guys can keep on pace, and you guys know what your grades are at all times. Speaking of grades, every Tuesday and Friday, I will give you guys a progress report here in Google Classroom. It also gets emailed to your parents, so keep that in mind. Some of your parents, will see this. And then on Fridays, not this Friday, but next Friday, I will start turning assignments as if they're missing Friday night, so that when you guys get that progress report on Friday, you can still turn it in, by Monday. You're not like losing out on points, but you guys are going to see that like just a checklist of what you still are missing. So even though it's due Monday, I always I call them turning it red, because it shows up red on Google Class and Aries, that this is, you make sure that you get this done this weekend so that you guys are on track. All right. So keep that in mind as you guys are doing your assignments. You guys will always see one notebook every single week. Ms. Gomez will kind of go over a little bit more when it comes to Google Classroom. And then you'll have homework assignments, not necessarily daily, but at least like 2-3 times a week. And sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. It just depends on the week. Sometimes we do classroom activities instead of doing notes. Again, it just depends on the week and what we're doing. But like I said, you guys will always get a heads up of what we're doing that week, and you can kind of give it a go if you guys want. Some of you guys remember this for the first couple of weeks, it's going to be review. So your days in class might be super easy. If you guys get done with like a bunch of stuff, maybe you don't even have to come to class. You guys do your exit ticket and you take off. That's the nice thing about doing things early versus doing things later. So, again, super nice to be able to do stuff like that. But yeah, I would click on, if you're ever absent or late or whatever, you're responsible for this. And it's going to tell you guys that stuff. It's going to tell you guys what we did, kind of the information you guys need to learn. Oh, I need to put in that Sunday is daylight savings, so don't wake up late on. So we lose an hour on Sunday. So keep that in mind. We lose an hour. So Monday, you guys might be super tired. Please go to sleep early. Just so that you know, last year, March 13th was the last day that you guys went to class. So we are at the year mark of COVID. So we've been in quarantine for that long. So that's pretty insane. Again, all assignments are due Monday by 4. Again, that's more of a guideline. If you want to constantly stay on track, have it by then. It's just, I just want to make sure that you guys are moving forward. Do not wait till the last second to do all these assignments. You guys, last quarter, I had a few kids that waited until the last like 3 weeks to turn in assignments, and it's very stressful. We, as your teachers, do not want to stress you guys out. We try and make life as easy as possible for you guys. Even when it comes to notes, we make it crazy easy on you guys. So again, please, please, please do not wait till the last second to try and do all of these things. We planned every single day out to make your life easier. But also,
so even if you think it's easy, where you think, oh, it's so easy, I'll just wait and complete it. No, it's that easy. Just get it done when you can, so you don't leave things and get things piling up until Monday.
Yeah, exactly. Turn them in. And again, if you guys do them early or do them on that day that we assign it, you guys get extra points. Trust me, those extra points, you want it's just like 5 points here, 2 points here, whatever, they add up. They help out a lot at the end. Okay. All of those things that you guys I told you guys about will be here in stream. So please make sure that you guys watch everything here. Again, if you're absent, watch it here. Then you guys can do your exit ticket if you guys were absent or were having Wi-Fi issues. Again, send me messages letting me know that you're having Wi-Fi issues. Also, and I think this will probably be the last thing that I say. When you're in ClassKick, please make sure that you guys are logging in. So when you guys click on this, if you guys have your iPads, please download this app. It'll be in your catalog. It's called ClassKick. It is only for the iPads. If you're on your phone, you'll have to just go to Chrome and do it. If you're on your computer, again, you guys will use your Chrome. I'm gonna actually put it in chat. This is your notes that we're gonna be doing today. So if you guys all click on that link, even those of you guys on the iPad, it will send you guys to the ClassKick app, which is perfect. And the nice thing about the iPad app is that you log in once and you don't have to do it again. So it keeps you logged in the entire time, unless somebody uses your ClassKick on the same device, and then you guys will like, mess you guys up. But if you guys are going to be doing this on your phone or your computer, you want to click on log in, and you want to click on Google Classroom or Google, log in with Google, and log in using your district email and password. However, if, like you're seeing right now, if I do that, it takes me to my teacher side. I do not want to do that, and neither does Ms. Gomez. So when you see us do this, you will always see us log in with the name. And see how this is loading? There are some glitches with ClassKick. What we have to do, oh yeah, yours were fine. So yeah, your notes were great. You should already get, you already got your points. See how I just refreshed and instantly it popped up? Do refreshing a couple of times. Sometimes you have to close Chrome a couple of times to open it. There are some glitches. You get to learn how to fix the glitches as we go through class. But I have to type in doc, and I'm going to type in doc 5 because I want to be on a student document, not a teacher document. And you're going to see all of this. Ms. Gomez is going to go over your notes today, but I wanted to bring to your attention, you guys can click here and see the notes that she's actually going to go over. And if you guys click on the YouTube link here, it's going to take you guys to the
for
notes
those of you
from
guys who are having
quarter from the last quarter, and you guys get to hear my, horrible voice in YouTube
It's
land.
not horrible.
I think no one likes how their
Own
voice
voice.
sounds when they're
Yeah.
recording. And then all you're going to be doing as she's going through these, you're just going to move the pieces to the correct spot, and that's it. There's nothing that you guys have to do other than on these pieces on the bottom, you will have to use your pen. So what I would suggest, as she's kind of talking about how to do these pieces, look for all of these tools up here. She's going to walk you guys through how to do those tools, but pay attention as she's going through that so that you guys are, understand how to do this. And it's honestly today, the reason why this is so easy is because we want you guys to practice with these tools. But if your internet is bad, we can see you guys as you guys are on. So for instance, I can click here, I can click on notebooks, I can click on this, I can click on view, and I'm going to filter it so that your names are hidden. But period 5, I can see who is on here. I can put it back so I can see your names. I just don't want you guys to see your names. And I can see, who's done all of their work. So for instance, this is a student that did absolutely everything already. And so we can see you guys as you guys are working live. So if you're having internet issues, please let us know so that we know that we are not going to see you guys here. But Ms. Gomez is always going to stop at the end of the page and let you guys take a picture, with the understanding that you'll go back once Zoom is done so that you guys can move all your pieces to the correct spot. So I know I spoke about a lot of different things. Please give me a thumbs up if we're ready to go. And if you guys ever have any questions, please put it into chat while Ms. Gomez is teaching you guys. I can always answer certain questions for you guys, or you guys can direct message her and she can walk you guys through those pieces as well. If it's about the notes that you guys are specifically taking, I would probably ask her since she's the one that's teaching you. But if you don't feel comfortable with that and you want to ask me, totally fine. I am basically helping her out as she's learning how to teach everything. And honestly, she's a natural when it comes to teaching. You won't even see her hesitate about certain things. So I'm going to stop talking and Ms. Gomez is going to take over.
All right. Yeah. And if there's ever a question I can't answer or think of the answer to, then obviously I'll direct you to Dr. Brown, but she's awesome at answering questions I even have questions. All right, so at this point, we do see a lot of you already on ClassKick. As you guys saw, we can see who's online. You guys couldn't tell who's online since we made the names anonymous, but we can tell. So everybody should be on this page for ClassKick. So for those of you that were already here last quarter, you've already probably seen how this is completed. For those of you that are new, we basically go through a presentation. In a normal traditional class, you'd be in your desk and you'd be taking notes, completing them as we're trying to complete them. But here it's pretty much the same thing, but it's a little easier to complete since you're just clicking and dragging pieces to the correct spot. So as I'm going through my presentation, we'll come back and forth to ClassKick to see how you should be filling in your notes correctly. So we'll go through all these tools that you can use too. This is how it looks on the computer end. So if you're on a computer, you see your tools right above here. If you're on an iPad, I learned this today, your tools for like pencils or highlighters or erasers are going to be right next to this T. So if you see your T on the iPad, right next to it, there's like an arrow.
Yeah,
it almost looks like
right
this
there.
one. Yeah, it almost looks like this arrow here. If you select that, it should give you a little drop down and you should see this pencil. You should see and you should see an eraser.
And then I think he said something about a more that has other options as well.
Yeah, you're right. More, I think he said was like on the right side, on the far right side. And you could also see the magnifying glasses. So here's one thing that I want to just start you off with too. If you zoom in naturally with your fingers like you're used to, some of you might lose your options, your toolbar. See, if I zoomed in with my fingers, pinching it or out, I lost my toolbar up here. So if you don't want to lose your toolbar, zoom back out and use these zooming in and zooming out options. It's easier because take a look, if I click on that magnifying glass with the plus sign, that's to zoom in. I don't lose my toolbar, which I think is a lot better than having to use your fingers to zoom in, zoom out, and then go find your toolbar and then zoom back in and zoom back out. So I would use your magnifying glasses, your toolbar up here to zoom in and then zoom out so that you don't lose any of these tools. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the presentation started. It's cool that some of you guys already completed your notes. I saw 2 individuals. And if you thought it was easy, we're not trying to give you anything too complicated. We really just want the students to get used to the note taking. But believe it or not, plotting points and actually finding points, the coordinate or the ordered pair, is going to be really, really important for this whole semester or quarter, because we are going to be working a lot with graphing. And I know a lot, I was reading through your all about me's and they're great. They're really funny. Some of you guys are making me laugh with your options for food and animals. So thank you for completing them. If you haven't, please make sure you do. But I did notice that a lot of you said that you struggle with graphing. And I thought that was very interesting because this semester or quarter is going to have us do a lot of graphing, but hopefully we present it to you guys in a way that is a little easier to understand. And I think the notes are set up to help you understand it too. But again, anytime any questions come up, no one's going to see if you direct message us on the chat. No one sees it. And I think that's even better than the traditional classroom. Some of you are shy to raise your hand and other students make fun of you because you're asking a question. That's not the case here. So you can just send us a question directly to us. We'll answer without, again, pointing out any names. If you send it to everyone, we're kind of assuming it's okay to talk to you. But again, we won't really call out on students that way. All right, so this is our day 1 of note taking, and we're note taking, getting ready to talk about slope. But before we really get into slope, we want to make sure you know how to work with an ordered pair or a coordinate, or and even understand the coordinate plane. So this is what it looks like when I'm presenting it. This is the top portion of your notes. We always go over the objective and the topic we're covering. So for today, we're getting ready to get into our linear equations unit. And to do that, we'll first be talking about ordered pairs. And I know a couple of you are familiar with ordered pairs. Some of us might not be, and that's okay. All right, let me get my laser pointer. All right, up here is your objective. An objective or learning goal, what we would like for you to know after we're done with this lesson. So after you're done with this lesson, you should be able to say that I can plot points on a coordinate grid. So this is our objective. And right below our objective is we have a little vocabulary word that we're clarifying for you guys. Some of you guys have already heard this. An ordered pair. So plotting a point or plotting an ordered pair, same thing, but what is an ordered pair? Well, an ordered pair is a method used to locate a point on a coordinate plane. An ordered pair is represented as parentheses, x, comma, y, and then you close your parentheses. And this is a whole bunch of words that I'm giving to you here. Don't worry, we're going to talk about what all these words mean, but a lot of you are familiar with this word coordinate plane, ordered pair, and you've seen something like this, but we're going to break down every piece. So at this point, I'd be going back to ClassKick, and I'd be showing you how to drag the pieces for your objective and that piece for the definition to the correct spot. So for today, it's already been set for you, but if you click on the objective, the I can, notice how I can drag it. Some days we're gonna put it down here below. Let me show you. Some days your pieces are gonna be down here and you're going to have to come all the way to the bottom, click on this and drag it to the correct spot. For today, it's already been there. So it should already be there. It says I can plot points on a coordinate grid. You don't have to fill in anything. It's all set for you. Then we have the what is an ordered pair. It's already set there for you, but if it were in the bottom, you'd have to click on it and drag it to the correct spot. So it's like fill in the blank notes almost. All right, so that's how we would do that, but we're gonna move on and actually look at a coordinate plane. Okay, so right here you have a coordinate plane. This is what it is. A coordinate plane just has an x-axis, meaning a number line, this one here, that goes from left to right. So this line here, it's labeled in your notes as the x-axis. So we have a horizontal number line, and then we have another number line that we call the vertical number line that goes up and down here. That is our y-axis. So a coordinate plane is created by these two axes that come together and give us 4 different squares. So if you see all these 4 different squares here, we call them quadrants. So we're going to be looking at this first square up here on the top right-hand side. We call that quadrant 1. So think of some of you like to ride quads or know about quads. A quad has 4 wheels, okay? The word quadrant has that word quad in there. So this is going to have 4 squares instead of 4 wheels. So quadrant 1, notice how it says, how it has an I here. That's a Roman numeral for 1. So 1I is just talking about the number 1. So we say quadrant 1. What we really want you to pay attention to is what your ordered pair looks like. So your ordered pair is going to have a positive here for your first number, and it'll have a positive number on that second number there. Why is that? Because if you look at your x-axis, all of these numbers here are positive. And if you look at your y-axis, all of these numbers here are positive as well. So that is quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 is going to be on the left side, on the upper side here. So for your quadrants, when you are numbering them, we go counterclockwise. So your clock starts at 12, goes to 1, 2, 3, 4. We're basically going backwards. So we're starting at 12, going to 11, 10, and so on. That's how we read these quadrants. We go counterclockwise. So quadrant 1 here is on the right top hand side. Quadrant 2 will be on the left top hand side. So what does our ordered pair look like in our second quadrant? You're going to have negative numbers for your first ordered pair here. Sorry, for the first coordinate, and a positive for your second coordinate. Why is that? Because if you look at your x-axis, we have negative numbers here. But when you look at your y-axis here, we have positive numbers. All right, moving along to our third quadrant, we say quadrant 3. We have this bottom left-hand side square. that will contain our quadrant 3, and our points will have these signs. We have a negative and a negative, because when you look at your number lines, the number in the squares are all negative here on our x-axis, and the numbers on our y-axis are also all negatives. So anytime you have that double negative, it should be in this square, in this quadrant here, quadrant 3. All right, the next quadrant is quadrant 4. So notice 4 is written a little differently. We don't have the 3 I's or 4 I's here. We have 1 I and a V. That's how we write 4 in our Roman numerals. But what we want to pay attention to in this quadrant is that we have a positive number for our first number here, and we'll have a negative for our second number here. Why is that? If you look at your x-axis, all of these numbers here are positive. If you look at your y-axis, all of these numbers down here are negative for these points on our quadrant. So for you guys that are new to the whole Classkick note taking, at this point, I'm going to have you guys go back to Classkick and see all these pieces that say quadrant. If you click on them, you're able to drag them to the correct spot. So we're going to start with quadrant 1. Drag it over to that first square on the right top hand side to where it's sitting above this square here. In the correct ordered pair with the correct symbols over, we said the numbers on this quadrant have a positive as your on the X side and a positive on your Y side. Select quadrant 2 and take it over to the square next to quadrant 1 on the left side here. And our ordered pair will have negative numbers as our first number and positive as our second number, because our x-axis here is negative and our y-axis is positive here. Same thing, quadrant 3, you should bring it over here. And as I was doing that PowerPoint presentation, if you've already come and done this already, as I showed you, that's fine too. That's actually perfect. It helps us move along a little faster. So quadrant 3 had some negative numbers on the top here for our x-axis and some negative numbers for our y-axis. So that should be those double negatives. Quadrant 4, our last one here, had the positive and the negative ordered pair. So at this point, your notes should be completed this way. You should have all of these pieces there. So give me a thumbs up if you're ready to move on. Give me a clap if you need more time. Thank you, guys. All right, see, so I'm at this point, I didn't get any claps, which is telling us that we're okay to move on. Oh, okay, I got one. Then I'll wait. Again, if you do ever give me a clap, give me a thumbs up whenever you are ready, just to let me know. And I get a water break during claps. It's hard talking all the time. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going back. Okay, so this is just really looking at the coordinate plane, but this lesson is all about the ordered pair, okay? How do we put it on a coordinate plane? What does it look like and what does it consist of? Well, an ordered pair will always have parentheses, a number in the front, a comma, and then a number in the back here, and then we'd close the parentheses. But those numbers tell us directions. So this first number here is called the X coordinate, which is why we have an X there. And that X coordinate gives us directions on how to move in this coordinate plane. So if I'm looking for the X coordinate to plot it correctly, I should always start here at the origin. That's what we call the center, where these axes came together. So this is the center, the origin. The X coordinate will tell us if we're moving left or right on that axis. So left if we have a negative number, right if we have a positive number. So they're just directions. Think about this as starting off at your house. If you want to get to Starbucks, that point is going to give you directions on how to get to Starbucks or your favorite fast food restaurant, McDonald's, In-N-Out, whatever it is. So next, we have our second number, and that is where the Y is here. That is called our Y coordinate. Our Y coordinate is going to tell us if we're moving up or down from our left or right direction. So if we went left, that Y coordinate tells us, do we go up from there or do we go down from there? If your X coordinate set to go to the right, from that specific spot, our Y is going to tell us if we move up or if we move down. So it's very important that you get these in the correct order. X comes before Y. Think of your alphabet, X, Y, Z. X was before Y, so X coordinate is always the first step you want to take or the first number you want to write. Okay, we're moving on to your Classkick notes, dragging those pieces to the correct spot. This first number here is called the X coordinate. The directions for the X coordinate are left or right. This second number here is our Y coordinate. So bring that Y coordinate piece over here. And that number tells us if we're moving up or down. So we're just bringing these 4 pieces over. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to move on. Give me a clap if you need more time. Couple of thumbs up, so I'm assuming we need a little bit more. Okay, they're coming up. All right, you guys are doing fantastic. Now we're gonna get to the part where we actually get to use some more tools on Classkick. If you see here some examples, we're gonna be plotting points, and this is gonna require us to use some different tools, but we'll come back to that. All right, so plotting an actual point. We're gonna start with the first example. Plotting the point -4 and -5. You can say -4, -5. Or I say -4 and -5. So you want to think about your directions and your coordinates here. Remember, the first number is your X coordinate. So our X coordinate here is -4. Remember, the directions for your X are to go left or right. How do we decide if we go left or right? Well, you look at that symbol here, the sign. It's a negative. The negatives are on our left side, so this -4 is telling us to go 4 units to the left. So we always start here at the center, and we go 4 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just start from the center, count over 4. So we're here for now. And then we look at the second number. The second number is a -5. That is our Y coordinate. The Y coordinate told us to go up or down, but because this is a negative number, we need to go 5 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which places our point here. So these arrows here are just there to help you see the directions we're going. -4 meant 4 to the left. -5 means 5 down, which this is what we're really looking for, that circle, that point. As soon as you follow those directions, you want to draw in a point. So let's go over to your Classkick notes. This is where we might have some questions. If you're using the Safari or a computer, this is what it looks like. To actually plot this point, there is no piece to drag over. You have to draw the point. So you're going to go over to your pen mode. So if you see that pen, go ahead and click on it. And before you actually go in there and draw that circle, that point, you can change the pen color. Black might be a little hard to see since we have the coordinate plane already shaded as black, but you can pick a different color that stands out. I'm going to pick blue in this case. Just click on that pen color, go over to the option you want, and that should give you a blue color to write with. Now, if you're on the iPad, it is a little different. We talked about this in the beginning. Right next to the T, you should see a little arrow. If you click on that arrow, there should be a drop down, and that's where you'll see your pencil. So click on the arrow, click on the pencil. I believe the pencil was the first option. Then you have the highlighter and the eraser. So pick your pencil, go up to the top and select a different color, any color you want, it's up to you, and go ahead and actually plot your point. Now, I don't know if you guys can see correctly how to plot that point when you're that zoomed out. I'm a lot older than you guys, so I need to zoom in. I'm almost a viejita. Just kidding. I don't look like it, but I am. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go to the center. Remember, we said go 4 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go 5 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you actually have to draw a circle. So that's what it should look like. Oh, I just remembered. In the other period, so the early period, asked, how do we change the thickness of the pencil? You can change how thick that line is. So see where I have the pen color? Right next to that, I have an option that has 3 little lines or blocks. If you click on that, that's the pen width. It lets you pick how thick you want your pencil to write. If you pick the first line, gives you really thin line. If you pick the second line, it starts getting a little thicker. And obviously, if you pick the last option, that's the thickest option you'll have. And you'll see it come up a little thicker. Okay, so give me a thumbs up if you're okay plotting this point, -4, -5. Give me a clap if you need more time. Thank you, guys. All right, and again, yes, this is probably a lot of review, and you guys are like, this is a piece of cake, Ms. Gomez. You're more than welcome to move along to your turn, to that page. Well, we're gonna get there together. But that's the cool thing about ClassKick, is that if you're like right on it, you get it, it's cool that you can go ahead and move along and work ahead of us. But if you're not at the point where you don't really get it, or you'd like to work with us together at the same pace, then you don't have to move along. All right, so since you guys gave me thumbs up, we're moving on to the second example. The second example is to plot the point 0 and -3, or 0, -3. We're going to start with our x coordinate. That's the first number. Remember, that goes on your x-axis. This 0 here tells us if we're moving left or right. So in this case, if we have a 0, it means you're not moving anywhere. There's no movement, so we stay here in the center. So a 0 means we're not moving anywhere, but we look to our next number, our y coordinate, to see how many units we're going up or how many units we're going down. This second number is a -3. A negative number tells us we're moving down 3 spaces or 3 units. So you want to count 1, 2, 3, which brings us to this point right there. So again, think about it. It's like if you're at your house and you want to go to Starbucks, these are the directions. If you want to get to Starbucks, you don't make any left turns, you don't make any right turns. All you have to do is go down 3 units or 3 blocks and you're at Starbucks. My nephews live really close to Starbucks, so they're lucky enough to only have to do that. I have to go left, right, up, down. Takes me forever. And then there's a long line. All right, so let's go back to your ClassKick notes. Make sure you are on that pen mode. I'm going to click it just to make sure. I'll go down here to my coordinate plane. At the origin, 0 units to the left or right, but I move down 3 units. 1, 2, 3. And I make my circle or my point there. And that's plotting the point 0, -3. Also, sometimes it helps if you draw yourself some of these arrows. So for example, the point 0, 3, 0 means no movement left or right, but -3 told me to go down 3. So if you want to draw yourself little arrows, if that helps out, you can do that too. The arrows will come in handy next week for your slope. So slope is fun, you guys. All right, give me a thumbs up if you're okay with that point. Give me a clap if you need some more time. Thank you, guys. Okay, more time, that's fine. And then don't forget, if you gave me a clap, turn that into a thumb. Okay, thank you. As I was saying it, you got it. Yeah, if you ever give me a clap, give me a thumbs up to let me know that, okay, yes, I told you I needed more time, but now I'm ready to go. All right, perfect. So this basically has completed the first page of your notes. I'm going to zoom out. At this point, if you were not able to follow along with us for some reason, I think I might zoom out more. Let me see. There we go. That's better. Okay, at this point, if you weren't able to follow along with us because of your connection issues, that's totally fine. Take a screenshot of what you're seeing right now. This will let you complete it after we're done with Zoom or on your own time on the weekend. Just make sure it gets completed. It's just dragging pieces over, you drawing 2 points on these 2 examples, and that gives you some easy points for your notebook. Remember, your notebooks are worth 100 points. You don't want to miss out on those 100 points, especially when we're giving you the tools you need. Again, if you can't watch the recording or you didn't take any screenshots, if you click on this link here for day 1 notes, it takes you to the presentation that has all the pieces in the correct spot. Just like what I'm showing you on my PowerPoint presentation, you'll see that on Google Slides. All right, here we go. We're going to move on to page 2. So to move on to page 2, you can just go over to the arrows, or you can even click on the slides here, and it takes you to slide 2, or the arrow just brings you over to the next page. So this is the your turn page. It's exactly what it's saying. It's your turn to practice on your own. So you are going to go ahead and practice this skill of plotting points on a coordinate plane. But what I do want to call to your attention to is that this page should be completed in order for you to get points. Oh, I just forgot one thing that I wanted to point out. Hold on. Okay, if you go back to page 1, on my end, there's a little hand here on the right side, and that right hand here is called the raise hand. If you click on it, you can ask us for help since we see everybody on our side of everybody that's doing work. If you ever get stuck on anything, you can click on that yellow hand and it'll raise the hand, and you can even type in a message here. If you say, I'm stuck here, I don't get this, whatever it is, you can let us know. Another way of, and also you can put your hand down if we've helped you out or your question has been answered. You can click on put hand down. Another way for us to let us know you got stuck is to add text. So you can click on that text box and you can just drag it over anywhere, wherever you are having a problem, and you can say, help me now. Just kidding. You can say, help me. That'll even show up on our side too, and we'll see it. But if you don't need any help and you typed in that help me, a way to get rid of a text box is if you click on it, you see a little trash can next to it, that'll delete it. So if you ever make any mistakes on your text and you want to delete it, click on it, you'll see a trash can. Here's another thing. If you are done with this page, what lets us know is if you go again back to that raise hand and where it says please check, that lets us know that this page is done. It doesn't let us know your notebook is done. It just lets us know that a specific page is done. Doc already talked about this, but if you are done with your notebook completely, the way to let us know is to go to Google Classroom and actually submit the assignment. So putting your hand up here won't let us know that it's ready to be graded. Going ahead in Google Classroom and submitting it lets us know it's ready to be graded.
But it's just nice whenever you guys are doing, like, we
Yeah.
have an entire week long stuff. You guys can
Mhm.
see right away, have you finished that page, or if you need to go back
Mhm.
and finish that page. So it's, again, an easier way for you guys and for us, but mostly for you, to be able to see where you guys left off on doing your notebook. So again, it
Mhm.
just makes life easier.
Yeah, so since I'm done with this page, I'm just gonna leave it as please check. And now I can actually move on to the your turn. All right, coming back to the your turn. This is your turn. You get to complete it on your own. We'll give you some time to work through questions 1, 2, and 3. But I want you to pay attention to this reflection part here. This reflection is just you reflecting or looking back at this lesson and you letting us know how it went for you. We made it a little easier for you guys to reflect on this lesson. We want to see what new math word you learned today. You can either use your pen mode to write the new word you learned today. I don't know, for example, today we learned about an ordered pair. You can actually write it out, but I know if you're on an iPad and you're using your little fingers, it might be hard to actually write it out. Use your text box, click on the text box, make a text box there and say, a new math word I learned today is ordered pair. Maybe it wasn't so new for you, but for this lesson, it was. So a new math word we learned today was ordered pair. A new strategy I learned today is, let me know what that new strategy is. You can type it in or use your pen mode. Another cool feature about this your turn is says that on a rating of 1 through 5, how comfortable are you with this concept? 5 is the highest. So if you understand this concept and you are able to do the your turn all by yourself, then you're going to say 5. I'm comfortable with it, super comfortable with it. If you're struggling a little and you might need some help, you can circle that 1 and say, no, I'm not getting it. If you're somewhere in the middle, then also that helps too. Oh, good question. How do you turn this into Google Classroom if you're completely done? It'll look a little different on my end, but you want to click on that assignment where it says view assignment, click on that. For me, it comes up for all of you guys showing it there. But for you, you'll have a submit button here, I believe, or turn in, something like that. Right, Doc?
Yeah, it says turn in at the right side. Yeah.
Right here.
And yeah.
So let me know if that answered your question. That's how you turn it into Google Classroom. You go to the assignment, view it, and click submit or turn in. All right, here we go. So we're going to take a look at your first question on the your turn. It says plot the point 1, -3. Again, if you want to use your directions, remember you're going left or right. This is your X coordinate. Because it is positives, I'm going 1 unit to the right. The Y coordinate is negative, which tells me I'm going 3 units down. So if I start at the center, I go 1 unit to the right and 3 units down. So that's where that point should be. So I gave you this one here as another example to help you guys out, but you guys are responsible for completing 2 and 3. Some of you might be seeing those decimals. If you see a 3.5, it just means it's 3, 1, 2, 3, and half of a point. So not a complete jump, just half of a jump. Okay. So I would say you guys probably need about 3 minutes to complete 2 and 3. So we'll give you guys about 3 minutes to work through these 2 here. If you're already done with that, you can go ahead and complete the reflection. Once you're done with everything, again, go on, please check, and you can even go to Google Classroom and turn it in. But I'll give you guys 3 minutes to work on this page, and that's basically it for our notes. But I know Doc Brown is going to go over your homework in a bit.
Yep.
So 3 minutes. Usually we play a song. I don't know if you want to, should we play a song for them or?
I can.
I'm forcing her to do things. Oh no. Just
What? Again. So
Oh, just the
again,
music.
I apologize. We can't have music on whenever I put it on YouTube. So I always forget to have to resume. So I'm gonna have to, continue to remind myself about that. But here is the assignment for today. It's right above where your notes are. If you want to take a screenshot of this, just in case you have any issues with your Google Sheets, you guys can just do this and just type in the answers here. However, some people have been having some issues only because you're not reading the directions up here. Identify the coordinates of each point, format with parentheses and no spaces. So if you don't put it like this, then it's not going to mark it as correct. So what you're going to do is you're going to find on this graph where the A is at, and I'm going to go to the left all the way to -9, go all the way up till I hit A and look and see where the Y is at. That's at 5. So my point here would be -9, comma, with no space, 5, and then close the parentheses. I can click out of that. And now notice how all of these colors started popping up. You guys will see a picture here. Again, if this doesn't pop up, because this takes a while to download. So sometimes you don't even get to see the things on the bottom. That's why I'm saying take a screenshot just in case you guys have any issues. You can just draw or type in these answers here, and then that's totally fine and submit it. How do I submit this assignment? Again, go to Google Classroom, click view assignment, and it'll have the link here that says, to mark as done or submit or whatever it is. That's always how you guys are going to submit all of your stuff. But again, that's about it. Let's do G, because that's one of those quote unquote weird ones. I'm going to go all the way to -8. So I'm going to put parentheses, -8, comma, and I didn't go up or down. So I'm going to put a 0 because we did not go up or down. Close it with the parentheses, hit enter or whatever, and see again, more colors start popping in. So I really like these just because it gives you a cute little picture. In one of the days that we do these, you end up having like a baby Yoda. Last semester we did some like these, and it was like Olaf and stuff like that. So it is pretty nice and they're cute. But again, if this isn't working, just take a screenshot and write on that screenshot like what the answers are and submit that. Again, whatever is easiest for you guys. But that's it. Make sure before you guys leave that you do that exit ticket. Again, you should have seen it already, but if you didn't, go to classwork, click on the assignment for right now. See, 19 of you guys, absolutely fantastic.
I know,
Click
you
on
guys
the
are
exit
awesome.
ticket, hit yes, turn it in with today's date, hit submit, and boom, you're done. So that's it for class. As you guys are doing all of this stuff, I am going in and starting to grade. When is this video going to get posted? It'll be posted as soon as I can download it and upload it to YouTube and turn it in, probably sometime during next period. So if you guys have any questions, please let us know. Other than that, you guys are free to leave and have a very good weekend. Remember that it is daylight savings time on Sunday, so do not oversleep on Monday. Have a good day, guys.
Hi,
Wait.
Don.
Awesome work.
Back or
Bye.
front?
What, Alexis?
On Sunday, the time gonna go 1 hour ahead or 1 hour?
Ahead.
Oh,
Ahead.
man. No,
Yeah, I know.
You lose an hour, not gain.
I know.
that's it. I'm not gonna go to first period.